G'day mates, Keg11 here and welcome to Spa-Francorchamps for the 1998 Belgian Grand Prix. Yes, I am back after 3 months absent. I'm back, hopefully doing a few more videos. If you guys don't know what happened, just took a break from videos to sort different aspects of my life. As you do, I'm not only just doing this part-time. But I managed to find some time to do a few videos, and hopefully I should be able to do more of these videos as time goes on, although not saying that it will be constant like it did before. We'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, enough of that, although it was very quick. Let's get back to this. The 1998 Belgian Grand Prix. Now, this isn't quite a famous race, as a matter of fact, for a variety of reasons. One, it was a very, very wet race, and as such, after the first corner at La Source, at the start of the race, there was a huge pile-up, which consisted of, I think, 13 cars, 4 of which would not make it back onto the grid. As such, and the second restart, it wasn't that much better, with the championship leader and pole sitter Mika Hakkinen spinning his McLaren on the first corner and crashed into by Johnny Herbert's Sauber, putting both cars out of the race. Which, surprisingly, out of everything considered, put Damon Hill in the Jordan Mugen Honda in the lead. Although this was short-lived by Michael Schumacher, himself collided with slowing David Coulthard McLaren, which saw Schumacher being quite pissed off and confronted Coulthard in the pits. But nonetheless, Damon Hill took back the lead and made it a Jordan 1-2 for the first time in Jordan's history. I think the only time in Jordan's history. A very, very famous win, and sadly the last of Hill's victories. Let's just hope that today's race is less dramatic. Speaking about our championship, just give you a recap on everything that's gone on so far. At the moment, I am drawing on points with Mika Hakkinen. After winning the last 2 races in Germany and Hungary, I have drawn equal. Rising up to, I think, the first place position for the first time since, I think, San Marino or Spain. Because I won the first 2 races in Australia, famously, and Brazil. And then I kept a younger existence close to the front of the pack for the rest of the season. Mika Hakkinen, he's had a lot more podiums than what I had, so he's obviously at the top. But coming to these last 4 races of the season, I'm really, really hoping that things create a very exciting end of season. Looking at the rest of the group, sorry if I mix up my words, we got Michael Schumacher in 3rd place on 47 points, so 25 points behind Levin and Hakkinen, so he is increasingly out of the championship race. And following behind him, quite close, we've got David Coulthard in the 2nd McLaren. Eddie Irvine, Schumacher's teammate, is in 5th position, 41 points behind, and out of the championship running, with 4 races left to go, 41 points, enough said. And rounding out the point scoring positions at this point is Heinz-Harald Frentzen in the number 2 driver for Williams, but he's been the only Williams driver to score a point all season, even having 3 podiums to boot. So I'm not sure what's happened to Jacques Villeneuve. Then it's Jean-Alesi Sauber with 13 points, getting Sauber a few more points after not scoring a single point in the previous season. Then we've got Damon Hill on 2 points, and then my teammate Giancarlo Fisichella on 2 points. Ralf Schumacher in the 2nd Jordan is drawing on 1 point with Jarno Trulli's Prost. And as such, looking at the Constructors' Championship now, McLaren Mercedes is way in the lead on 118 points, and looking at everyone else is going, probably destined to become the World Constructors' Championship. Falling behind them on 2nd place is Ferrari by only 4 points behind Benetton Playlife. But I'm thinking that's going to stay that way because I'm the only one scoring for Benetton, and Ferrari's got both Schumacher and Eddie Irvine when possible. So that's unlikely to change, nor to the rest of the grid. Williams is on 23 points, 95 points behind McLaren Mercedes, but another 10 points ahead of Sauber. So unless Sauber goes really well, that looks to be same. And then behind them, we've got Jordan on 5 points, and Prost haven't scored any race this season apart from Australia, so they're on 1 point. But I'm thinking that 1 point is just going to keep them above water in regards to the rest of the group, particularly Stewart and maybe Arrows, two teams that I would like to say can around about the same performance level as Prost, but have not scored a point to everything. I'm thinking the Prost point in Australia was more or less a fluke. Now, looking at the qualifying results for today's race, I start on pole, as I believe I did last year, because Spa-Francorchamps is an actually really good course for me, and thank goodness it doesn't change over a number of years. I start on pole, just about 0.4 of a second ahead of Häkkinen, and not too far behind Häkkinen is his teammate David Coulthard. So I got two McLarens bearing down my neck, so I've got to be very careful in the first corner of La Source and throughout the rest of the race, because this race is in wet, like in real life. So I got to be careful not to cause any contact. Then we've got the two Ferraris, Michael Schumacher and Eddie Irvine. And then we've got Jean Alesi, Heinz-Harald Frentzen, Damon Hill, Giancarlo Fisichella, and Johnny Herbert, rounding out the top 10. So it's thinking really predictable in regards to how the championship standings are reflected. And to be quite honest, I've said this before, it's pretty much predictable where everyone will qualify and where we'll then give or take a few positions. Following on, you got Ralf Schumacher, Rubens Barrichello, the number 1 Stewart, then Mika Salo in the Tyrrell, I believe. Jacques Villeneuve, 14th. I have no idea why he's qualifying that low throughout the whole season. And then we've got your younger or not as good talent of Esteban Tuero, Jos Verstappen, although he's a decent driver. Pedro Diniz, Jarno Trulli in the Prost, Olivier Panis, Shinji Nakano, Toru Takagi, and Riccardo Rossi in the Tyrrell. So now with that done, and I need to get started on the race, or otherwise my throat's going to go, let's get to this race. Alright, here we are on the grid in Belgium, in the rain. Let's hope it becomes less chaotic as it is at the start. As we move away now, Kent Levitt's in the lead. Oh, Mika Häkkinen must obviously have a better start. As we come to La Source now, oh, there's contact between Häkkinen and Levin, and more contact. Everyone's going wide, but Häkkinen, surprisingly, gets away clean scathed. As I'm next door to Heinz-Harald Frentzen, probably. And oh, contact with Frentzen, that slows me down. I've got to keep my head down because I'm crashing the cars left, right, and center as I do a dipsy daisy around one of the Ferraris as we go through Eau Rouge, sorry. But yeah, that was a chaotic first corner at La Source, but not as chaotic as it was last year. Although, I made contact again with one of the Ferraris. I would think so. Obviously, the Benetton must not have a lot of straight line speed. I mean, I've got play life points for goodness sake. But I managed to hang on to, third place quite well. To come into this corner, I haven't got the map up, just give me a second. And here we go now. Pohun now, not too bad. As I come into the Fagnes corner. No, I'm in Pohun, I have no idea where I am right now, unless I know where I am right now. So, I'm making contact with cars left, right, center, going into Lecombe and then Rivage. But now I'm on my own as we come into the Fagnes. Left to right now, chicane. And obviously, I'm struggling out here because the two drivers ahead I can only think is Mika Häkkinen and the McLaren, and I think Michael Schumacher, I guess, in the Ferrari are way ahead of me now. As we come into on the back straight, coming into Blanchimont now. This is the old road section now. That's been with these Belgian Grand Prix at Spa ever since they dot. But I don't see anybody behind me, so look, by the sound of things, I am, when I get to speed, I am okay as I make a complete mess of the bus stop chicane as we complete our first lap. The positions are Häkkinen and Eddie Irvine, Kent Levin, Giancarlo Fisichella, my teammates in 4th place. Then Michael Schumacher, and then the Williams of Heinz-Harald Frentzen. So really good result here for Benetton at this point. Our first proper double point scoring finish this season. Although my teammate, no, it'll be the same. My teammate has scored once or twice before, which isn't too bad, back in Austria. He scored 5th place, and I scored 2nd place. So, but if we can get a good result here, we can give Benetton their best double point scoring position all season, and hopefully allow us to catch up to Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship. I would really like to see that. And speaking of how well I'm going, looks like after the first lap I'm keeping my cool again as I'm approaching Eddie Irvine. So looks like my skills as a driver has really wrangled the Benetton player life up, catching up behind Eddie Irvine, and hopefully, if everything goes well in the next 1 or 2 laps, behind Eddie Irvine, because I'd really like to finish this race in second place. I would not be able to fully pass Mika Hakkinen for the Drivers' Championship, but any progress is good. At least I'm not further back down and losing almost all hope of catching a Hakkinen. Come out of Stavelot now. Actually, that last call I just went through, it's under a different now. I forget what it was, but I think it was somebody very intriguing to Spa-Francorchamps, Paul Frere, who died. Whoa! I've made contact with order. He died during, I think, the early 20th century. 21st century, sorry. What am I saying 20th century for? Well, they should be racing Le Mans, for goodness sake. Anyway, that was renamed after a very prominent French motor racing personality who died in the early 21st century, so that corner was renamed after him. As we look to, whoa, 0.76, so I'm really catching behind Eddie Irvine is making a complete mess of Les Communs Malmedy. But looks like, as I predicted about a lap ago, I'm steadily catching up to Eddie Irvine, so this is very good. I just have to keep it nice and clean together with the rest of the lap, not like the Rivage there, and hopefully catch up to Eddie Irvine soon enough. So come across Puhu now. Very well done. 6th gear coming into Fakeness. I've lost a bit of time. That second sector must be, well, yeah, the second sector Rivage, and that section must really cut me down on my times. But here, going with Pahoon, no, I'm off for Stavelot. A common place that I always go offline there. Doesn't matter what game I'm playing, I always seem to go off, because that corner coming into Stavelot is tighter than it seems, particularly if you compare it to Fakeness. Quite tight. But now I'm on the back straight now, passing Stavelot. 6th gear, 325 kilometers an hour as we slam on the brakes to come into the bus stop chicane. Still haven't got that mastered. As we can see, lower down behind me, Michael Schumacher has gotten past my teammate, unfortunately, to take 4th spot. So then we got a Ferrari 2 and 4. Whoa! As I lock up, coming into La Source and almost getting it very loose. I got it very loose, but no harm done. I could just stick it back into a lower gear and punch through as we come through Le Rouge now. All the times I played, Le Rouge is not as, well, it is a terrifying corner, but not as terrifying as some people may seem, particularly here. As I lose pace behind Eddie Irvine again. Why have I got this feeling in the back of my head that unless I absolutely nail an entire lap, which I have not been doing, I won't be able to catch Irvine before the end of the race. Yeah, as you can see, Irvine, I managed to catch up with Irvine coming into Les Communs, but he's pulling away from me again as we come back into Rivage. So, pretty much no chance of catching up Irvine unless something happens. So, calm down now, Ken. Keep to the racing line and hold down 3rd place. Any podium position is all good, particularly if you're trying to catch Hakkinen for the Drivers' Championship. Oh, I'm drifting as we come up. I've got onto the cross, but I managed to hang on to it. That was an epic drift. But that has cost me a hell of a lot of time, and now I can hear Michael Schumacher right behind me. It's spectacular in one sense, but in regards to the rest of the race, it was tragic. Now I really need to make it a nice clean race. Oh, what the hell happened there, Michael Schumacher? Just skidded right in front of me. Unbelievable. I'll have to look back through that one in a minute to see if that was legal or not. Now, looking back over the footage here in slow motion, I could see that Michael Schumacher quite sneakily passes me on the outside of Stavelot just as I pressed the pause button for whatever reason. The fact that I didn't see him because as soon as he went in shot, I pressed the button, so therefore the menu covered the Ferrari. So, darn you, Michael Schumacher, darn you. But anyway, back into how things are going. Häkkinen's in the lead, followed by the Ferraris of Irvine and Michael Schumacher. Then Kent Levin, and then David Coulthard managed to get ahead of Giancarlo Fisichella. And that rounds off the top 6. Now we come to the second final lap. Oh, that overtake by Michael Schumacher was very, very sneaky indeed. That is aggravating me big time. Now I'm going to try all the stuff to get past of Schumacher and get that third place back. I don't want it to be like last year, where I was looking well for a second place position, but mistakes or... No, first place actually. So, Jean Lacey passed through to get Benetton and the second win for the season, and also falling behind Michael Schumacher. I don't want that happening again. Well, I've let it happen, but I don't want it to happen again. But if I'm going through Lake Como like that, I don't have a lot of hope for myself. Not too bad going through there, but still, Michael Schumacher is still considerable distance ahead, just like over before, and I can't even see his brake. God damn it! Oh no, that doesn't look good. The car, no, I'm drifting again, and I'm not sure what happened. But coming into Purhun, I can see the left side of my car jumping up and down, so I knew that wasn't going to go well coming into Purhun, and sure enough, I did. I slid again, and now I'm 2.5 seconds behind Schumacher. If I want to keep my sanity in this, I just have to just forget about any catching up to Schumacher. Just stick to fourth, stay his main points, and try to not make any big mistakes. If I lose any more positions, I'm going to be fuming by the end of this race, because this is just pathetic. I started in pole, hacked the first corner, sauce, a little bit bad, but typical. But I've let the performance trying to keep up with Irvine, we've actually gone back, and I've let Schumacher go by because of mistakes. And now as we come to the final lap, I'm 3 seconds behind. Although Schumacher is a little bit wide coming through La Source, so if I just accelerate quite well, which I think I've done. No, Schumacher's obviously got the pace of the Ferrari engine. So yeah. And thinking about it, 1.72 seconds, I gotta stop thinking about Schumacher now. I gotta worry about David Coulthard behind me. I just hope that this lap is a nice clean one so that Coulthard doesn't surprisingly come up behind me as Schumacher goes slow. Can I catch him? I don't think so. As I was saying, I gotta make sure Coulthard is at bay. And coming to reverse now for the final time. Oh, wow, no, that is epically wide on that one. That's not going to do well for my chances up to Schumacher as we come into the corner after Rivage. I don't know what it's called here on this map I got here. So coming to Pahun, is they going to be jumping off the left front? No, so I should come through here. Okay, yes, a bit wide, but otherwise very clean. I'm not turning into a drifting corner. This is not a skyline or whatever you call it, Sylvia, sorry. 2 seconds, so all right distance. So coming to Fadeness, now Stavelot. I've always had problems here. Come on, nice and slow. Second gear, yes, very well done. I'm on the racing line, very well done. Now we've just got the blast around Blanchimont, and the last section I need to worry about is the bus stop chicane. I don't think I had any problems with it last year. Maybe one a bit with Schumacher. But if I, Mika Häkkinen wins the 1998 Belgian Grand Prix. Now how as I come to the bus stop chicane for the first time. Oh, I'm on the grass, it's gone, oh no, I've done a pirouette! I'm off grass, I'm past this Shell logo, but I'm back online, shifting first gear. And I'm away again. Thank goodness I didn't lose any positions to Coulthard. That was scary. I was hoping that I wasn't going to lose any more positions, but yeah, that was a tense last corner. I must have been distracted or something. I got off the grass, and as I remember correctly from San Marino last year, I spun out, did a full pirouette, went through off the grass, but I managed to shift down to first and get the car moving again in the right direction before Coulthard can get a looking. Still, that race was not as good as I would have liked it to be. Oh well, better luck next year. I know we can win at Belgium, but I just can't make it stick. Anyway, Mika Häkkinen wins the race, full 12 seconds ahead of Eddie Irvine. So after that problems with the source, Mika Häkkinen just used his abilities to pull on the distance further and further to win the race. Eddie Irvine stays in second place to score second place. And then Michael Schumacher, capitalizing on my relatively shambolic display, to get third place, just about another 3 seconds behind Irvine. Then 5 seconds, you got myself, with a pirouette included, a bit of acrobatic, and I think that'll have to be my most acrobatic race to date. So I hope it was very entertaining for all you viewers out there. Then following behind David Coulthard, and then Jean-Claude Fischer-Keller. So in total we get 4 points for the Benetton operation, but still we're losing pace behind the Ferraris. So now looking at the Drivers' Championship now, Mika Häkkinen has now back to becoming the sole leader of the championship, just 7 points ahead of myself, 75 points. But I'm still in it, don't worry. I could catch him the next 3 races, which I have to wait and see. Michael Schumacher is in third place, a total of 31 points behind Mika Häkkinen. So with 3 races left to go, he is now officially out of the championship. So it's now a dog-eat-dog 2-man battle between Mika Häkkinen and myself. So I'm very curious to see how we go for the next 3 races. Can I catch up to Häkkinen? Can Häkkinen increase his lead? I'm only 7 points behind, so we shall see. Following behind them, David Coulthard is on 48 points. Nothing changed there between him and Eddie Irvine. Same deal with Heinz-Helmut Frentzen and Jean Alesi. Both of them not scoring this race. And rounding out the point scoring positions, we got Damon Hill, unfortunately not scoring the win, the 1-2 for Jordan in this race, sadly. And he's still on 8th in the championship. Jean-Claude Fischer-Keller, scoring the single point, is catching up to Damon Hill and moving away from Jana Julia and Ralf Schumacher. So hopefully, with a few more point scores, Fischer-Keller may pass Damon Hill to score 8th in the championship. And now looking at the Constructors' Championship, now McLaren Mercedes is now up to 130 points. So that will put them 42 points ahead of Ferrari. So technically it's still not the end for Ferrari just yet. I think next race McLaren Mercedes will probably secure the Constructors' Championship, unless I am very much mistaken. After Ferrari, we got Benetton Mechachrome on 78 points, so they are definitely not going to win the championship this year, so oh well, better luck next year. And then the rest of the post group positions go to Williams Mechachrome on 23, not scoring a point this round. So do Sauber Petronas, 13 points, Jordan Mijin Honda on 5, and Prost Peugeot on 1. So there we have it for the Belgian Grand Prix, and my first race back doing my F1 career, and a very wet and a very acrobatic one at that, as I said earlier. I hope you guys enjoyed doing this video, and I'll see you guys at the next round in Italy.